Lots of thumbs. Look at that. 16, 19, 21. I'm thumbing to death. Okay. All right, folks. David our Day here. Today we're going to talk about whether or not simpler is better. One thing we've learned over the last couple of months that we're going to have to live a simpler life. And I want to talk about that today. Today we're going to talk about simpler. We're going to talk about better. We're going to talk about some wonderful stuff like that. And at the very end, if you'll stick around to me, I'm going to show you a little bit different view of the wild horses. So that'll be fun. Thank you all for joining me. I am David R. Day. I am a fine art and commercial photographer here in Boise, Idaho. Kind of overcast today. The walk with the Dasher was uneventful, but I got a lot of stuff going on. I had a great day yesterday. Actually, it started off terrible. Show would not run, phone wouldn't work, I scrambled. I did figure it out, though. We kind of had at least a bit of a show yesterday. It was kind of fun. Again, we talk about changing things up, being resilient, figuring it out. We did yesterday, so thank goodness. Got some deed problems on my house that I seem to think I figured out, but I had not one, but two, kind of three photo shoots yesterday. I got to go out and shoot semi-trailers, and then I went down to Office Evolution and shot their beautiful interiors. So, apparently, in roughly half of the country, we get to kind of move back to the way things were. Is that wise? Do we really want to go back to the way things were? Leonardo said it pretty well. He said, simplicity is the ultimate in sophistication. So today we're going to talk a lot about what we've learned about simplicity in this wonderful time. Apparently, comments are not showing, but I do get thumbs, so that's a good thing. This all has forced us to reevaluate our lives. There are obviously some of you out there that are still working a fairly normal position, but for most of us in America, things have changed. If not for us, at least for our... if they haven't changed for us, they've at least changed for our spouse or somebody we love. Sadly, we've lost some people, but we've learned a lot about ourselves as things have gone along. Boy, I appreciate all those thumbs and hearts, and because I'm not getting comments. I have no idea why, because, Let me hang on a second, see if there's something here I'm missing. Nope, I'm just not getting comments, which is too bad, because it was a comment a couple of days ago by Andy Spencer that turned this whole thing all around. So life is good. I may be able, they may show up on Facebook someplace. I'll have to look, but no, I'm not getting them there. Oh, I have one comment. It says, quiet mode turned on. Okay, hey, maybe I can figure this out, guys. Hang on just a second. Oh, I found the comments. Okay, so I have them over here on the side, so I can scroll through them. Fantastic. Man, we're, just about the time we finish, we're going to have all of this figured out, aren't we? So let's talk about simplicity a little. So we've learned that having a big car is not all that important if we don't have any place to go. And if we don't have any employees, or certainly our job, or any customers, that having that great big office on the side of the hill is not all that important either. So what have we learned? Is simpler better? I believe that simpler can be better. As we come out of this great pandemic pause and things open up again, do we really want to go back to that old normal? I don't. I chased the almighty dollar harder. I was always trying to win more contests. I was trying to be the biggest seller at this gallery. I was always going. I did a show a week. I think I did almost 60 shows one year, a couple of years ago. I busted my ass. I tried to get the biggest contracts at the Microns and the public health situations. I worked my butt off. But I really enjoyed some of these times. What are you going to keep? What have you learned? I've learned that I want to stay more connected. I love this. It's going to disappoint me in a couple weeks when I have to shut this down because I'll have obligations at 9:30 in the morning. But I love the connection I've made. I've made much better connections. I've actually talked on the phone to some people. I've gotten some handwritten letters from people. How fantastic is that we have the time? I'm going to try to keep those connections. I've really enjoyed to learn the company of my close friends, of my family. I had a picnic with my son and daughter-in-law last weekend, and it was absolutely fantastic. We set 6 feet apart, so we didn't infect each other or anybody else, and it was fantastic. I want to keep those connections. Um, I've learned a lot about my own personal self, about resilience and grit in figuring things out. How to move forward, how to really understand where I am. And are you learning some of that too? Yeah, I cannot move the comments over because they're not showing up on my screen here. I have just a big blank screen that says no comments. I don't have a clue why, but they are showing up on Facebook, so you all are getting to enjoy it. It's just not me. I've learned the resilience. I've learned to find some things. I've also learned, even in this setup, I have extra lights and extra cameras and bipods and iPhones, and really, all I need is a camera and a computer. Works better if I'm simpler. If I have less on the screen over here, I seem to do better too. I can talk more personably. I'm not going back to the old pace. Are you? Are you going to chase those dollars? Are you going to try to keep up with the Jones? One of my all-time favorite sayings is, remember, in the rat race, even if you win, you're still a rat. I'm going to think about those sort of things. We need to learn from this opportunity. It's been terrible. It's been tragic. Most of us have lost money. Some of us are permanently displaced. We've had some people who are sick in my world. This was not fun. I do think that the government did the right thing by shutting things down. I'm a little nervous. In fact, I'm more than a little nervous about opening things up. But you know that's the political climate. We'll see. But what are we going to do? Are we going to pay more attention to others from here out? Are we going to wash our hands better? Are we going to pay more attention to wearing a mask? I don't wear a mask for me because I'm invincible, right? I wear a mask for other people. That's the important thing. When I see people without a mask, quite honestly, I do not think as much of them as I should. I do believe that when we're out in public, we need to mask up. Not for me, not for ourselves, but for others. One of the things we've learned a lot about in this pandemic is a lot of this is not about me, it's about we, it's about us. I so hope that we can learn and keep that up. So for me, well, I'm going to continue to write. I honestly have no idea how this book is going to come together. I need an editor, I need a designer, I need somebody to help me focus. And I don't know if you believe in manifestation. I do not necessarily believe that I can manifest a new Ferrari, but I am sending out very positive vibes that the right person will show up in my world and help me get this book together because it's important. I need to hang out with my neighbors. Have you guys done that? Man, my front yard it's just been like a parade. All the kids are out of school. And so they've been wandering around on their bikes and their scooters and their little guys. Pair of my neighbor girls, I call them the princesses. They were Anna and Xena. They have these cool little electric go-karts, man, and they're like 5 and 7, 7 and 8, something like that. And they just tool around these go-karts. It's been amazing. It's been great fun. I'm gonna try to stay connected to my neighbors, and that's fun. How about you? You know, walk the dog? Are you going to continue to cook? Are you going to continue to do the gardening that all of you? Carol, are you going to continue to make noodles? Mark, you're going to continue to cook minestrone soup? I sure hope so. I hope that we're not going to just jump back and go back to this ugly rat race. I am certainly a capitalist, but I'm not sure that chase for the almighty dollar is necessarily the best thing for us. And I need to continue to keep hanging out with the camera. One of the things this pause has done for me is I've been able to shoot some of the very best photographs I have ever taken in my life. You've seen some of them, and I want to get to that now. This is going to be a little bit short today, guys. Sorry about that. That's all right. So I'm going to, if I can, I'm going to switch scenes. Let's see here. Let me hang on for a second. Sure wish I had comments because I love interacting with you all. Let's do that. Let's go here. All right. I'm going to switch scenes. before I start about this, for those of you who don't know, I was lucky enough to have my friend Tony Moody take me out to the Black Herd Range, which is a bit south of Murphy, and we were able to actually get right next to these beautiful animals, these wild horses. I've lost focus. There we go. I'm back. To be with these amazing wild horses. These are actually feral horses. They're not technically wild because they're an invasive species, and that's a difficult time. I don't want to get into the politics of the wild horses, but they are just fantastic. It was a life-changing experience. I've talked about how it is one of the most amazing photo shoots I have ever been on. So let me switch here, and we'll talk about this. If you know me, you know that I'm not a big fan of black and white, but sometimes it needs to be black and white. Those are beige. Those are actually paints. They're both, and it's obviously mother and father. I'm going to use this for a Mother's Day card, I think. If that doesn't take your breath away, if that doesn't make you feel closer to nature and understand the power of the beautiful vision that we have of our world, you're not paying attention, because how fantastic are those two. Look at the kindness. Look at the whiskers around the mother and foal there. She's protecting that little bugger because the little foal really wants to come out and just jump right next to me and hang out with me. These were the most tame wild horses I've ever been around. Normally, you don't get within 1,000 yards of them. I brought extra lenses, extenders, and all that. Don't want to get into the technical stuff, but all of that. But that too. That's what I've learned. I've learned that the life is simpler, and I need to pay more attention to you all. I have decided, I talked to Ziggy today back and forth on some text messages. I'm going to figure out a way to do this at least once a week, probably on some sort of regular schedule. It may even be Sundays, because that's the day that I normally take off, but because my commercial work is beginning to pick up, that new normal is beginning to pick up, I'll soon have to work gallery shifts, and of course, I believe the Capital City Public Market will probably start, I'm guessing, June 1st, just a guess. The city of Boise is more restricted than the state, and of course we do get thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of people come down there, so we're going to have to be to a point where things are pretty stable and things are pretty solid before we do that. So yes, thank you that you like this beautiful photo. So B told me that my photos are a reflection of your attitudes. Boy, that is kind praise, B. Thank you so very much, and thanks to Michael and Sharon for liking these images. That's kind of it for me. I will be back on Sunday. Again, don't have a clue what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to spend the day. I'm going to go look at a house with my niece, Summer. My friend is going to bring over some documents for me to sign to move this loan forward. I'll have a little bit to talk about tomorrow. I greatly appreciate you all. This has been fun. I suspect when I look back at this, one of the most wonderful things about this fantastic or unfantastic, this interesting pandemic pause, this corona hunker down, will be this show. And I cannot tell you how amazing it is. Oh, I'm on a different camera. I didn't know that. I've been talking to the wrong camera. Sorry about that all. Boy, the tech on this stuff is just crazy. So I've been talking to this camera up here when I'm actually on this camera right here. So let me look you straight in the eye and say thank you so much for doing this. I greatly appreciate you all. I will be back tomorrow. I'll take Monday off, and then we'll see a couple more weeks. David Day, Heard Over Coffee. If you'd like to share this, I would appreciate it. If you want to see the finished, I take the front part off, and it post to YouTube. Usually takes about an hour to get that up. And of course, you can replay it here on Facebook. David Day. I call these Heard Over Coffees. I do them I do them Tuesday through Sunday. Correct? Yeah, that's correct. I'll get it figured out. And then I'll quit. Thank you all. See you tomorrow.